Sir, I need you to step over here.
Excuse me?
Against the wall, please. Hands where I can see them.
I work here. I'm on duty.
Just need to verify some things.
My badge is right here. I'm the attending in this wing.
Sir, step aside, please.
I'm not leaving my patients.
The first words out of his mouth aren't a threat. They're a plea. I'm his doctor. Let me through. Fluorescent lights buzz over a crowded hospital corridor. Monitors beep. A gurney disappears through a set of double doors. In the middle of that controlled chaos, a young officer plants himself between a black man in scrubs and the patient he's trying to reach. The doctor's hospital badge swings from his neck. His name is embroidered on his coat. There's a stethoscope around his shoulders. The rookie cop sees none of it. Sir, step back and put your hands where I can see them. For a few seconds, the entire hallway becomes a tug-of-war between two voices, one shouting about orders and safety, the other repeating over and over, I work here, I'm his doctor. Those few seconds will later be replayed frame by frame in a courtroom. They're the opening scene of a story that ends with a police officer fired and a $3 million lawsuit that the city can't ignore. To understand how that hallway turned into a legal battlefield, you have to step back a bit. The man in the white coat, we'll call him Dr. Carter, didn't just wander in off the street. He's a board-certified physician who's spent years walking these halls. Night shifts, double shifts, holidays. He knows every shortcut, every side door, every nurse who can get a lab rushed in 5 minutes instead of 30. From the outside, he looks like the very picture of success. From the inside, he knows how fragile that image really is, because being a black doctor in America often means doing twice as much to be seen as half as dangerous. That tension is always humming in the background, even on ordinary days. On this day, it's not an ordinary shift. A critical patient, a middle-aged man with chest pain and unstable vital signs, has just been brought in. Dr. Carter has seen this story before. Minutes matter. He rushes to imaging, talks with cardiology, coordinates meds. At one point, he has to dash back out to his car to grab a personal device he uses for accessing medical notes and previous scans. He throws on his coat, jogs across the parking lot, and comes back through a side entrance reserved for staff. To everyone who knows him, this is routine. To one person watching from a distance, it looks like something else. A visitor in the lobby notices a black man in scrubs moving quickly through a restricted doorway, keying in a code, disappearing behind staff-only signs. They don't recognize him. They don't see a doctor fighting the clock. They see suspicious. They flag down security. Security calls local police for backup just in case. That's how a rookie officer ends up sprinting into a hospital with a vague report in his ear. Possible unauthorized person in restricted areas, unknown intentions. By the time he reaches the cardiac wing, Dr. Carter is already back at the patient's bedside, giving rapid-fire instructions. Nurses are moving, alarms are sounding, and adrenaline is thick in the air. The officer sees movement, hears raised voices, and locks onto the one person he doesn't recognize. "Sir, step away from the patient!" The room freezes. Dr. Carter turns, confused and angry. "I'm his doctor. I work here. You're in my way." He turns back to the patient, calling out medication doses. To the rookie, that's not professional focus. It's non-compliance. This is the moment everything pivots. If you've made it this far into the video, you already know why we tell these stories. If you care about how power actually works in real life, not just in headlines, take a second to like this video and tell us where you're watching from. It helps more people see what really happens in moments like this. Now, back to that hallway. The officer steps in front of the bed, one hand drifting toward his holster. "I said step away. Hands where I can see them." Dr. Carter's voice hardens. "Get out of my way. This man could die." Nurses try to intervene. One says, He's a doctor. He's attending on this case. The rookie barely glances at her. In his mind, procedures come first. Secure the scene. Control the unknown variable. The unknown variable is the black doctor in front of him. Within seconds, he has Dr. Carter pushed against the wall, one wrist pinned, then the other, metal cuffs clicking shut. A monitor alarm screams in the background. "You're detaining the wrong person!" someone shouts. Bodycam footage later shows it all in painful detail. The badge swinging uselessly, the embroidered name, the raw disbelief on Dr. Carter's face as he's walked out of his own patient's room. Administrators arrive. Another physician rushes in to take over care. The crisis, somehow, is managed, not because of the officer's actions, but in spite of them. Downstairs, in a small conference room near the security office, reality starts catching up. Hospital staff confirm Dr. Carter's identity. His credentials flash on a computer screen. He's not an intruder. He's not a threat. He's on the schedule. The rookie cop's certainty dissolves into awkward silence. The cuffs come off. Someone mutters an apology that never quite admits what really happened. But you can't uncuff a humiliation. You can't rewind the moment a black doctor had to prove, in front of his own colleagues and his own patient, that he belonged in a space his entire career was built around. In the weeks that follow, the story won't stay contained inside the hospital. Bodycam footage is requested, internal reports are leaked. Someone who was in that hallway posts about it online. The idea that a doctor could be treated like a suspect in his own workplace hits a nerve. In a country where black patients already struggle to be believed, the thought that even black doctors aren't trusted in white coats feels like a cruel punchline. Dr. Carter hires an attorney. The lawsuit they file doesn't mince words. They allege unlawful detention, violation of civil rights, emotional distress, interference with medical care. They don't just name the officer, they name the city. Because the problem isn't only one rookie's judgment. It's the training, the culture, and the assumptions that taught him to see a black man in scrubs as a problem to neutralize instead of a professional to listen to. The demand, $3 million. Not as a price tag on dignity, but as a measure of harm. The kind of number that forces city officials and police departments to pay attention. The response is predictable. Statements about miscommunication. Phrases like acting on the information available at the time. Promises of additional training. But internal investigations have a way of cutting through PR. Policy manuals are pulled. Use of force guidelines are reviewed. Supervisors are questioned about what their rookies are actually taught when it comes to black professionals in positions of authority. In the end, the conclusion is blunt. The rookie violated policy. He escalated without justification. He ignored clear verbal information about who Dr. Carter was. He's fired. The city quietly agrees to a multi-million-dollar settlement. No admission of wrongdoing, of course. Just a check and a hope that the story fades. But here's the thing. Even if the news cycle moves on, the questions this case raises don't. What does it say when a black man can put on a white coat, earn a medical degree, spend years saving lives, and still, in a split second, be treated like a trespasser in his own hospital? What does it say when the instinct to control a scene overrides the responsibility to listen to the people who actually know what's happening? And maybe the hardest question of all, if a doctor in a hospital isn't safe from being misread as a threat, who is? Let me know what you think in the comments, because until the benefit of the doubt follows black professionals into every space they've earned the right to stand in, stories like Dr. Carter's won't just be shocking headlines. They'll be warnings. Warnings we ignore at our own cost.